So speaking of which, if you're a brand or agency seeking to work with a diverse group of businesses or vendors owned by women, the LGBT community, or U.S. veterans, then Sandbox might just be the place for you.
My friend Doug Melville, Chief Diversity Officer at TBWA North America, which is an ad agency, is here to tell us all about TBWA's, that's a hard to say, TBWA's new initiative, One Sandbox. So welcome, Doug.
Hello, how you doing today?
We are great.
We're great.
I'm going to see you next year in Davos. I can feel it.
Yes, let's put that into the universe.
I feel our energy changing. I feel our energy changing.
That's a lot of money, man. That's going to be a big budget if I want to go over there.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for having me on the show today. And
tell us about your work.
Yeah. So I'm a Chief Diversity Officer at TBWA. So we're a top 10 global ad agency. And I work on all aspects of their business as it relates to our clients, making sure that their messages and marketing are inclusive of the environments where the messages are shown and the audiences that they sell to.
Which is still a problem, evidently. This show and its 2 years of existence, we could cut a tape of all the ad mistakes big companies have made since we've been in existence.
No one's perfect, but the ad mistakes are happening, and we work with our clients to ensure that our messages are in tune with the audiences and with the marketplace. And another third of my job is to work on our environment at the agency to make sure people feel culturally connected, and we celebrate and inspire people there. And then the third part is supplier diversity, and that really leads me to One Sandbox. So a lot of times people don't realize how many people that we hire out to make our media art or commercial messages. So casting, set designers, producers, directors.
You have a lot of freelancers.
Lots of people that don't work full-time at the company, but we look to hire them out. But the thing is, we can't find all of them because the networking is different, relationships are different. What we were talking about a little earlier with the network and your net worth is real. And a lot of things in the creative industry are built through relationships. So we created One Sandbox. So this is a place for everybody to register their creative business if they have been traditionally underserved. So women, LGBT, people of color. Go online, register your business to One Sandbox, and then we got 10 different ad agencies, and we're getting more every day to register as corporate members to be able to look through all these vendors and hire them out for their commercial making process. So this is a way to kind of bring economic value to women and people of color who own, operate, and control their own business. So One Sandbox is a search engine to allow people to find these businesses that may have historically been looked past.
And you're also tapping into the diversity and inclusion component of your corporate responsibility, if you will.
Yeah, so it's really important. I don't think people realize, just looking at the economy, this is a business show, so I had to have at least one business statistic, but 52% of every business in the United States of America is owned, operated, or controlled by a woman or person of color. So last year was the first time that we ever had over half of the businesses in America fall under this category. And that's basically in line with our demographics.
Of course.
Yeah.
But they only get 6% of the money. So that means 94% of every dollar that is spent by a company to another company goes to a company that is owned, operated, and controlled by a white male. And 6% of the money, 6 cents of every dollar, goes to the other 52% of businesses.
Wow, that's very lopsided.
So it was very important to us, and it's becoming a talking point for a lot of our clients to say, hey, diversity is important through who's in the commercial. Diversity is important who makes the commercial. But let's talk about all the vendors that are part of the process that are producing it. Exactly. So this is something that I've been very passionate about. I'm an entrepreneur by trade, so I like to look at this as entrepreneurship. How do you take your passions and skills outside the office and then tie them in directly to your company? So I'm very excited about it, and I just want to give all these businesses a platform to shine, so they can get more B2B business opportunities to help make great creative ads.
That's a great idea. Can we talk more about entrepreneurship, which is
we have a lot of entrepreneurs on here.
Yeah. What's happening with them? Are they doing okay?
Okay, but tell us.
Tell us what that is for people who don't know. They're doing great.
Tell us what it is, and then I want you to tell our viewers more about your idea that you presented to TWA that you've executed and are doing an amazing job hosting, I should say.
Oh yeah. So I had an idea at my company to build some camaraderie and kind of like upgrade the happy hours. You know, like any company, you do weekly weekly or monthly happy hours, but I went to my CEO and asked him a question. I said, what if I started a talk show in the lobby? So I had this idea that instead of telling people about different events or different things that are happening in the world of culture and diversity, what would happen if we just brought someone in of note and we just interviewed them, and then they could talk about it, because people would much rather hear from someone they're familiar with more so than me. I mean, although I can really hold a room, I figured, you know, you'd rather have me talk to somebody. So that was how we started kind of an entrepreneurial thinking around diversity, not just doing prescriptive things, but actually making and creating things and seeing how those develop.
Within a company.
Within a company,
So if you have an idea, laddering up to the and saying, this is what I want to do to, whether it's improve productivity or increase productivity rather, or build camaraderie, as you mentioned. Who are some of the influencers you've invited in and interviewed?
So we started this a few years ago, me and our CEO, Rob Schwartz, so we kind of are the co-creators, and we started it, and it was called the Disruptor Series. So TBWA is the disruption company. We've trademarked that for over 20 years, so that's really part of our DNA, not buzzwordy. And we started Disruptor Series, and we actually had Al Roker on. He was one of our first great guests that we had. We had Snoop Dogg on and Wendy Williams. We had President of Mexico, Vicente Fox, came in to talk about the wall.
Vicente Fox. He's hilarious.
He is ready to go. He is ready to go. He was forgetting things, so we had a bottle of tequila next to the stage. So every time he missed an answer, I told him he had to do a shot. So we do it in a fun environment. We bring the whole ad agency, the whole Madison Ave community comes out.
Are you sure that's not a BuzzFeed video? Because that sounds like a great video. Vicente Fox taking tequila shots.
He's doing it. We don't have it on BuzzFeed, but he's doing it. We had the Broad City girls on. Abby and Alana came on. Okay. We had Maria Shriver come on. So we've had a lot of great people.
I'm like a fanboy of all those people.
Yeah, they're coming out and they're talking about.
But it's great that you're bringing in different perspectives into the ad agency so that advertisements are well represented and they're diverse. I think that's smart.
And diversity is a really broad term, so we kind of define diversity as everyone. So we do something called the jury test. So if you were going to go down to jury duty and there was 40 people in a room or 40 people on the sidewalk, do those look like 40 people in the company? So that's a great way.
It should be reflective of general demography, right?
Exactly. So we're really big on that and really passionate on that. And it's been going really well. So we need to have you both come down, or maybe I can interview you.
I want to attend the next one.
Yeah, no, I'm
that'd
loving
be great.
this show.
Yeah, we get you down. I think we'll have a good time. Talk about bowl. Talk about what's going on here in the world of business.
We're bold disruptors. That's right.
Well, this is a very disruptive format, so
it is disruptive.
I'm proud of you.
It could be disruptive without commercials too, when things go wrong.
Well, Doug, we appreciate you coming on the show to talk about TB. I want to keep wanting to say TWA.
Yeah.
TBWA's One Sandbox.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Well then, man, these have been some fun guests today.
We've had a great lineup.
Yeah.
Always have colorful conversations.
Always.